Welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by English Mountain Spring Water. When it comes to perfectly pure, crystal clear, fantastic drinking water from right here in East Tennessee, English Mountain Spring Water is the way to go. Just incredible international awards they've won for taste, but also you know where it comes from. Let me let you in on a little secret. All of these bottled waters that are spring sourced are supposed to tell you where they're from. Some of them aren't real honest. You can go straight to the folks at English Mountain in Dandridge and they'll walk you back. It's only a couple hundred yards behind their facility. I've been there and it's really an amazing deal because you walk out and you feel the temperature drop because the spring there cools everything around it. It's pretty cool and it's delicious water. English Mountain Spring Water, the only water I've ever drank with no aftertaste. All right, mention it, we know what's coming. Who is the favorite? If you had to place a bet right now on who's coaching Tennessee in 2021, I'll start with Ryan down there because in between here you said, I don't know who's on the list. So yeah. I'll put you on the spot. Who are you going with?
I'll say this. This is going to sound like a cop-out. I don't really know who the favorite is, but it's not because I don't know. I don't think there is one because I think this investigation is going to determine everything, and not just whether Jeremy Pruitt stays, but who's interested in this job. If there's an NCAA cloud potentially hanging over it, that dramatically diminishes your chances of getting a big name here. But I'll throw one out there just because I think he'd be in play, and I think Tennessee would like someone experienced if they do have to make a change. I'll say Gus Malzahn. I think someone like that makes a lot of sense. Whether he's interested or not, I don't know, but I think someone like that would at least be of interest to Tennessee if they have to go that route.
Mr. Himes.
That's a hard one to me. I do think it's very difficult to see Jeremy Pruitt surviving this. And I also think it's going to be hard to go out and get a coach who's going to look and say, they got this going on, they got that going on. So I think you whittle it down from a number of people that say no, and you get to Jamie Chadwell, who I think would take it under whatever circumstances. So I'm going to go Jamie Chadwell.
All right. David Ubben.
Well, I think at this point, it's like, preseason future bets. Like everyone's plus money at this point. So I don't think there is a favorite, but I would have concerns about Jimmy Chadwell will take the job. I'd have concerns about him running a big program, lack of experience in that front. But I think you got to lean toward the guys that want the job. And if I'm, betting on a guy that I think is a favorite at this point, I'm going to go with Hugh Freeze.
Okay. And we talked about it last week. I don't think UT, after the last two times they hired somebody with NCAA baggage, they got it blown up in their face.
He's going to be polarizing. Any conversation
about
him is going to be polarizing.
Well, I'm thinking some of these people making decisions are going to remember we ignored the NCAA issues with Pearl and it blew up. We ignored them with Tyndall and it blew up. I don't know, but that's your favorite. So we're all. And here's the thing. I've not heard any conversation. The idea, we discussed this earlier, the idea that they're somehow secretly negotiating with people already, that is not the case.
No.
And if Pruitt stays, hey, we'll happily, I know I'll come back and say, well, I was wrong. Only at Tennessee would you put a man through that, leave him dangling, and then bring him back. But if you're asking me right now, I'm going to go with Bill O'Brien. And the reason is, if you got Jimmy Haslam, NFL, and you got Peyton Manning involved, NFL, Jimmy Haslam once interviewed Bill O'Brien. When O'Brien did a good job at Penn State, he inherited the Joe Paterno nightmare and did better than anybody thought. He wasn't bad with Texas. He had a bad start this year. He had one bad year. The rest of the time he had a winning record. I could see Bill O'Brien because he did well at Penn State. He recruited Georgia when he was at Georgia Tech, and that was 20 years ago. But I could see that because I do think this may have an NFL lean if two of your main guys going at it are Haslam and Manning. But that's just a gamble. Anybody think there's a possibility that this drags so far into the future that your athletic director says, we can't possibly hire anybody? Doggone it, I'm going to get in there.
Get your interim tag on.
Is there any chance that Philip Fulmer makes himself head coach?
I don't see it. I guess you can't rule it out, but I don't see it.
I don't know that he's got the power to do it.
That's the thing. I don't. And then it's who's making the decisions over there. I've been even told that if Pruitt's not back, that Philip Fulmer's not going to be the lead on who's going to make that decision. It's going to be others. I also don't know how strong the Board of Trustees is. So there's so many different parts to this. It's like you said, if you drew a chart and it's usually connected to this, they're so dysfunctional right now, it's kind of hard to figure out where things are going. But it'd be hard for me to see Fulmer. And I've also been told that by some people that are higher up, there's no way they would hire Hugh Freeze. So that's why he wasn't on my list.
The Tennessee org chart is just a bunch of boxes, and there are no lines connecting them. That's the org chart. Thanks for watching us. We'll see you next Sunday. Thanks for thanks for joining us. Check out our sponsors, and congratulations to Shazan Bradley for beating COVID. We love you, buddy. We'll talk to you next week.